9 p.m. Pacific, midnight over there and on the East Coast, morning over there already. I'm your host, Aaron Trilling. Again, welcome to the Chelladurai Inc. show. We have a wonderful show for us this evening. But first, like I always do, just in the first few minutes of our show, we have our sports recap. Most importantly, we are broadcasting out of San Diego. We kind of are San Diego fans here. A little biased. We got a no-hitter going on, folks. I know you're really not supposed to talk about it, knock on wood. But we do got a no-hitter going on in the seventh. Colin Reyes for the San Diego Padres is flirting with a no-no. But we're not going to talk about it anymore because we're very superstitious when it comes to baseball. Other thing going on in the MLB right now, other than the Padres, up on the Mets 5-0. Oh, my God, my screen just totally froze. We'll just move right over to basketball. Happy Cinco de Mayo, though, I first want to say. Again, today's Thursday, May 5th. Cinco de Drinko. Hope everybody's out there. It is Thursday, but I'm sure there's a lot of tacos being eaten today. So drink that tequila, eat that food. I'm sure Old Town out here is just absolutely just going crazy tonight. I'm sure downtown's probably doing a little thing. Me, of course, I'm inside. I'm working. I work every day. I work on Christmas, if you let me. So we're in the studio right now, but I'll let my co-host Jordan touch on Chelladurai and our little music update. But in the NBA right now, it's getting crazy. Playoffs coming right around. I think playoffs are personally too long, but we got the Toronto Raptors over the Miami Heat. They win at home 96-92. That may be all for today, as I see that's the only game. And my MLB just doesn't seem to really be wanting to bring up right now as far as my score updates. Hockey's still going. Hockey also right around the time basketball goes on as far as playoffs, both 2-month playoffs. Interesting. But the Red Sox, again, they're up on the Chicago White Sox, 7-3 right now in the bottom of the ninth. Chicago White Sox leading the AL right now. Funny, Chicago White Sox and Chicago Cubs, both the best teams in baseball. San Diego 5-0 over the Mets. Colorado Rockies 10-3 in the fifth over the Giants. St. Louis wins, beats Philly, shocker, 4-0. 9-4 Cleveland over Detroit. 1-0 Baltimore beats New York in 10 innings. Toronto 12-2 over the Texas Rangers. Miami Marlins host the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they shut them out at a score of 4-0. Cincinnati Reds 9-5 at home over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Cubs just can't lose. They just can't lose. Chicago Cubs 5-2 over the Washington Nationals. And Houston beats the Seattle Mariners. Seattle goes into Houston and wins on the road at a score of 6-3. So baseball in full effect right now. But as you guys know, my co-host Jordan Pravin Phillip, he is right here. Jordan, say hi to the folks.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Cinco de Mayo. It's another excellent week. The year is moving by extremely quick. May 5th. Just, crazy how quick time is going. But just wanted to give a quick update before we hop into the spotlight as far as the David Capewood project. Again, this project has been Chelladurai Inc. In conjunction along with Relative Reactions, Mr. Kenneth Guillotine on the production, and we should have a single coming out for everybody within the next week or so. Nothing, no specific timelines, but I can tell you, Aaron, aka David Capewood, aka our main head host, has been pumped in the studio, making some stuff happen. So that's just a gift for everybody that we want to share to further the message of positivity, of growth, of progress in everybody's life. So with that, I'll leave you and we'll hop into the next segment. I'll push it back over to Aaron.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. Folks, as you guys know, the body of our show is our entrepreneurial spotlight, where we invite a guest on where they talk about their entrepreneurial endeavors, their passions, their interests. People that have already, made it to the top, people that are just entering the entrepreneurial game for the first time. Tonight we have a very special guest of ours. His name is Argel Algura. He's a local San Diegan out here, and he's an entrepreneur and businessman, and is currently actually past creating already fully into his online coffee company, and I'm going to actually let him kind of take the floor right now. Argel, you are live on the Chelladurai Inc. show. Sir, thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Honestly, man, it's really an honor and privilege to be on this show in the first place, man. Great to even have you, especially today, man, since it's Cinco de Mayo. I appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely, and you know, we know that today out here is a big day for partying, and we appreciate you, you know, taking your Thursday and spending it with us instead of, you know, doing other things. So we're very appreciative of that, Argel. Argel, you know, we kind of spoke about this. Thank you again for joining the show. This is kind of your time to really tell your background about what you're about, where you came from, and then, you know, business-wise, we'd love to hear more about the online coffee company, your plans to grow, your just kind of a little background on yourself as well as the company. So you can just kind of take it away right now and kind of give a little description on you and what you're all about over there at Organo Gold. Organo
Awesome.
Gold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Organo Gold, sir. Organo Gold. I appreciate
Organo
it, man.
Gold.
Awesome,
yeah,
man. Well, yeah. Before I really. Oh, did you have something to say?
No. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, for sure. Awesome, man. But before I really get started in explaining a lot about the business and how we ran it, let me just go ahead and introduce myself, what I'm all about, how I got into the entrepreneurial background. Well, I really got into business for myself about 2.5 years ago. Initially, I wanted to do it because I was really terrified of the idea of just working at a desk for like 30, 40, 50 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I really I had big dreams and I had big goals, and I just wanted to find a way how to fulfill those big goals and big dreams. You know, and I didn't really see myself doing that behind a desk or a cubicle. And so that's when I got involved into the realm of entrepreneurship. Yeah, it was crazy how it happened, man. But yeah, I got involved into entrepreneurship. One of the things I realized was because when I was working at a job, I just realized working at a job is just you're really just trading your time for money. Eventually, like, you run out of time. When you own your own business, I found out that you use money to make more money, so you wouldn't have to work a job. So you can buy back your time and spend that time with all your loved ones. Yes, it's going to be a struggle in the beginning, and I can definitely be a testament to that and how much of a struggle it's been. But all I really know is that it's worth it, man. It's really worth it in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So how long? When did you start your online coffee company, Argel?
Okay, so I actually started me and a group of like-minded entrepreneurs. We started this coffee company actually in March. It's fairly recent, but we've been showing some huge progress. We've been working like never before. Really, like, our work ethic has been incredible. Within the first month, we did about $10,000 in sales for an online coffee company. What I realized is that the typical or the average Starbucks does around maybe like $4,000 or $40,000 in sales a month, and for us to do $10,000 our first month in business is a pretty great accomplishment. That we've been growing past our second month, and we actually have a goal now to take over 1% of the coffee market here in San Diego. So we're really excited for that.
That sounds awesome. This is Jordan. Hey, thank you again for joining us, Argel. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. It's really, man, I thought it was really an honor and privilege to be here, like I said before. But yeah, that's kind of what I had going on in the with the coffee business. Is it cool if I like share my story and how, like, the entrepreneurial journey and the adversity that I've gone through throughout my journey as an entrepreneur? Is that okay with you guys?
Definitely. Yeah, please do.
For sure. Awesome, man. But yeah, man, I honestly think it's been a tough journey. I think as an entrepreneur, you really have it's like you against the whole entire world. But I believe that like I said before, I believe that it's really worth it. Out of all people, I think I've faced quite a lot of adversity. I honestly believe that when life happens, it happens all at the same time. I just remember getting started, and everything started to happen for me around the month of October, and everything happens like all in the same time frame. It began when I actually went to a seminar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a gentleman by the name of Tony Robbins. I went to a seminar. I had such an incredible time. Tony Robbins, it's a 4-day seminar. It's called Unleash the Power Within. If you guys ever have an opportunity to go, I'd highly recommend that you guys go. But yeah, it was incredible. First day, we walked on fire. We had coals burning about like 1,000 degrees to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It was an awesome experience. It's really a seminar that's there to teach you how to break through your experiences or break through your limiting beliefs. And I had quite a lot of those. But then at the same time, as I'm going through this seminar with that's teaching us how to break through, it's like life is happening all at the same time. By day 3 of the seminar, something really stood out to me that Tony said. Tony said, nothing in life has meaning except the meaning that you give it. And when he heard that, I was pretty impressed by that. Something that really stood out to me. He tells a story about Nelson Mandela and how I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Nelson Mandela, but you guys probably already know. He was already by Nelson Mandela. He was imprisoned for 27 years of his life, and he was in prison for 27 years of his life. He was the president of a country in Africa, and Tony had the privilege to interview him, and he said, Nelson, how'd you get past through 27 years of suffering? Nelson said, Tony, I wasn't suffering. It was really preparation, because I knew either one of two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to die and my country's going to spark a revolution, or 2, I'm going to take back my country. And so him really shifting that perspective of nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give it, that was pretty incredible for me. But that same night, I get a call from my mom. The seminar was actually out in L.A. I was down in San Diego. I get a call from my mom saying, Argel, your car got stolen. I was really shocked by that. But I kind of reacted in the best way possible, just because after going through something like that, we went through a long day of nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give it. And he talks about Nelson Mandela. After hearing that, I think my car getting stolen, it's not really too much of a big deal, isn't it? But
right.
That happened. And then shortly after that, I kind of gave it the meaning that me and my car getting stolen just really means for me that if I work harder, I'm going to get a better one. So, and I did, which is pretty awesome, because things started to turn out pretty well for me. When I got my car stolen, insurance covered me a little bit more than what I paid for it. Bought a brand new car, or not brand new car, but I bought a newer car, lower mileage for the same price. And I pretty much pocketed $600. And when that happened, I thought, man, I should get my car stolen for a living. But shortly after that, kind of like I said, in life, when life happens, it happens really all at the same time. A little bit after that, I come from an incredible seminar like Tony Robbins. You're out here. You're surrounded by an environment of top-notch individuals, very high-powered CEOs, and you really just want to break through some areas in your life. And one of the areas I wanted to break through was through my relationships and my family. And so I'm out here, just a little bit about me and my personal life. I'm an only child, single parent. My mom, it's just me and my mom out there. And I'm out here. I just came back from Tony Robbins, an incredible seminar. I'm trying to break through all areas in my life. So I asked my mom. My mom's a single mother. I'm an only child. I asked my single mother the one question that any single mother would never want their only child to ask. And I sit down. I just remember I walk into the room. I sit down on the bed. I look at my mom. I'm like, Mom, who's my dad? And after 20 years, her jaw dropped like real quick. And again, like I said, after 20 years, I kind of wanted to make some breakthroughs in my life. I think it was about time I find out the real story about who my dad was, and she told me a story. It wasn't too crazy or anything. It wasn't really dramatic. It's just your typical story about how dad had a kid. Dad didn't want to take care of his kid and left, and so that happened. And as that happened, again, life happens all at the same time. As that happened, I'm walking out of the room. As I'm walking out of the room, my mom says, "Oh, by the way, you have a half brother." And my jaw dropped faster than hers did. And I'm like, wow, what is going on, right? And so I asked her about my half brother. She says, yeah, you have a half brother. He's a little bit older than you. He's deaf. I really wanted to meet this guy. I track him over on Facebook, and till this day, man, it's pretty interesting. Till this day, I'm trying to reach him. Edward, if you ever come across this podcast, I'd really like to meet you. Unfortunately, you can't really hear this right now since you're deaf, but I'd really like to meet you one day. But yeah, anyway, that happened. A little bit after that, I just felt like things were happening sequentially, one after another, after another, after another. A couple days after that, I was invited through a connection of mine to a birthday party, a special birthday party where I knew one of the famous Filipino pop stars are coming through to San Diego, and his name is Gabby Concepcion. I really had the pleasure of meeting him. Turns out that was my mom's favorite Filipino pop star. And you know me, only child, single parent. As an only child, or as a child in general, you'd probably want to do anything in the world just to make your parents happy. And so I invited my mom to meet her favorite Filipino pop star. We come in, she's excited. I've never seen her excited like that in her entire life. Just imagine if you guys have ever met my mom, she's just imagine like a short Filipino woman. She's adorable. She has a beautiful smile like no other. I've never seen her so excited like that in her entire life. I go in to introduce her to her favorite pop star. So we take a picture and we go home. I just remember that night she was so grateful, and just that feeling of gratitude is really, really humbling. I remember her sitting me down. She said, Argel, you made me so happy. You know, before that, I was really sad before you introduced me to him. I was really sad, and I said, Mom, why are you sad? She said, because I was at the doctor's today. I found a lump in my breast, and we took a biopsy a couple days later. It turns out she has breast cancer, and it was really devastating to hear something like that. And so we had operation after operation. Fortunately, it was stage 1, stage 1 breast cancer. We had and as this is all going along, I'm here. I'm still in school, and I'm still launching my my online coffee business as I'm going through all of this. And as we go through operation after operation. By the third operation, she has to have what's called a mastectomy. And a mastectomy, for those of you guys who don't know, it's a huge operation where you pretty much take the entire breast off. And so we go in there. We have the mastectomy. And this is the same. So this is around maybe like the 1st of March, and we go in there. We have the mastectomy. This is the same exact week where I launched the online coffee business with a couple of buddies of mine. I just remember going conference call after conference call in the hospital, and she has her mastectomy. The very next morning, she's recovering and she's in the hospital and she's eating. And I just remember so clearly that. As she was recovering, the nurse wanted to come in to check up on her. As she was checking up on her, she sees a whole bunch of bruises where the operation was, and she was bleeding at a rate of a cup an hour. And at that rate, that's pretty dangerous. And so the nurse sees the wounds. The nurse calls in the doctor. The doctor comes in, and as the doctor comes in, he has this scared look on his face, and that's never a good sign for any family, you know what I'm saying? And as he makes this face, my mom, it's such a humbling moment to see. It's hard, you know. It's hard as a son watching like the tears fall down from your mom's face, not knowing if she's gonna live. The nurse said that night she had to have a last minute operation. I'm here at the same time I'm thinking about whether to save my business. I'm thinking about whether to be there for my mom, and I'm thinking about the exams and the midterms I have all at the same week. And it was a very trying moment for me. The nurse said she had a 50-50 chance of survival that night, and I just couldn't help but fall down and fall on my knees and start praying. And it was very, like I said, it was a very trying moment. And the next day, I was so grateful to see that my mom was still awake and she was still alive. So that was awesome. From that, and so that happened. And throughout the month of March, we were killing it, launching our coffee business. And it was a hard moment for me, but at the same time, I knew that nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give it. And so this really means for me that it was just a moment for me to grow into the individual that I am right now. And so I'm grateful for every single experience that I've had. And I just know one of my mentors told me that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So that's just what I took it as. And I took it as an opportunity to grow, and it's been a blessing ever since, man.
Great last quote. If I could, Arthur, just real quick, could you just repeat just what you just said right now about life? That was great. I want to hear that again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Every single experience that you go through, it's not something that you just go through. It's something that you grow through to become the individual that you are today. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I just needed to hear it to just resonate with that so much more. Just that really hit home right there. Well, I got to tell you, Argel, just right now, Jordan and I both just have our just mouth dropped. I mean, that is an amazing story. That's an incredible sequence of events. Just you're absolutely right in the sense that life just happens all at one time sometimes, and it sounds like for you, that's a lot of heavy things right there. But again, we're just kind of taking it back. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. I don't know where you were with your story, but
I was pretty much just wrapping up. No, it's completely fine, man. But yeah, I was just wrapping up. It's just one of those things that you really get to understand that as an entrepreneur, you just can't make excuses. You can either make excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. And I just really understood that. And I knew that, I just had to keep pushing just because, excuses don't pay the bills. Results pay the bills. You literally have to put in the work, and it's either you do it or you don't, And I just remember that every day it's kind of hard not to have the work ethic when you look at, the reason why you're doing this every single day is because of, it's not even just for you. It's a reason bigger than you,
Absolutely. So you've had Argel, you've been very much riding the entrepreneurial route. In the brief times that we've spoke off the air, Jordan and I over here were really big on books. Knowledge is power, of course. And then you had one of your loves and interests actually on top of the business side is obviously reading. To get all your material. If you could just tell our audience some of the things that has really resonated with you on the literary side, just books that have really hit home. If you could just rattle off a few with the authors and the titles of the books, that'd be great for both myself and Jordan and our audience.
Yeah, of course. I'd be more than happy to do that, man. Books is actually something I really believe in, just because I know, or at least one of the quotes that I've heard is that the only difference between you right now and the you 5 years from now is the books that you've read and the experiences that you've had with other people. So I'm a true believer in books, just because I know that if there's something in life that you want, there's someone out there that's probably written a book that can show you how to get it, And so some of the books, let me go ahead and introduce some of the books that really made a huge impact for me. If I could choose, honestly, man, if I could choose one book in specific that definitely helped me throughout this journey, that shaped me to the individual that I am today, there was literally this one book I could not go without. And this book, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick second to get a pen and paper, because I honestly believe, or from what I've told, you can't. Or one of my mentors told me that if you can't keep up with the information, then you can't keep up with the income. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick second to grab a pen and paper. All right, second is up. Okay, the one book that really shaped me into the individual that I am today. It's spelled the Bible. I'm going to spell it again, Bible. Specifically, the book of Job, because in the book of Job, within the Bible, it says the character Job is really someone that I really resonate with. His story kind of goes like this. He was a wealthy individual in the Bible. He was already successful, already wealthy. He had everything everyone can ever imagine. And what happened was God kind of took everything away from him as a test. He took away his farm, which back in the day was his wealth. He took away his animals. He took away his family. He took away his wife, and really it was just left with him and himself, and just himself. And it was more of a test to see if he would stay loyal to God. And in that moment, it was proven to him that when he did, he was blessed beyond everything that he had in the first place. So I'd highly recommend the Bible, the book of Job, and the one other book that I'd recommend, and this is for anyone that would ever dream of, or anyone from that ever wants to get into the realm of entrepreneurship, whether you're starting a business, whether you're exceeding in the business. It would be this book right here, and the title of the book is called Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm going to say that again, Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. It explains why entrepreneurship today is more important now than ever before, just because of the shift in the economy. I mean, you guys probably see what's been, you guys probably can see what's been going on nowadays. I mean, just look at our presidential candidates, that our economy doesn't really look like it's going in the right direction. And it's really a book that shows that how now more than ever before, the economy today is shifting toward a performance-based economy, and you really have to take advantage of something or a vehicle that can get you residual income. And that's something I really believe in. So first off would be the Bible, specifically the book of Job, the Business of the 21st Century. And I think the one other book that I'd highly recommend everybody would be a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Again, that's The Richest Man in Babylon. It kind of introduces how back in the Babylonian days, where in Babylon, Babylon was a very wealthy and prosperous country, and it wasn't like that because of the government. It wasn't like that because of what's been going on or in their specific economy. It was like that. Babylon was specifically a wealthy and prosperous country because of each and every individual, each and every citizen in Babylon back in the day. You know, it's not because one of the things that I've learned is that there are successful people in an up economy, and there are broke people in an up economy. There are successful people in a down economy, and there are broke people in the down economy. So it's not the economy that really determines whether or not you succeed. It's really you. You know, and The Richest Man in Babylon is definitely a book that I'd highly recommend, that would introduce you to how to handle your personal finance. And
Sure,
so those are my top three books. It would be the Bible, Business of the 21st Century, and The Richest Man in Babylon. Does that answer your question?
Sure, yeah. You know, Argel, this is Jordan again, and those are all from the first book, that to the last book. I mean, that's real. Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, it's amazing. Aaron was telling me earlier that you're only 21 or 2021. Is that right?
I'm actually I'm currently 20 right now, about to turn 21 next month. So if you guys want to take me out, I'm more than happy to accompany you guys. I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's funny. Yeah, I don't know if Aaron told you we're borderline 30 years old over here, but I'll tell you the mindset that you have right now is in a better place than some people twice your age. So whatever you've been doing an excellent job at it. Even through all the hardships that you've faced. So continue doing what you're doing, and in 5-10 years, the world is yours, really. But another thing we wanted to also give you a little more time to share with the coffee company that you're operating right now. As far as is it a website where we can purchase your coffee at, or how can we get a hold of some of that?
Of course, I'd be more than happy to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, so about the coffee company, so let me just start off by saying the reason why a lot of us we got started in the coffee business was just because we took advice from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, he had a specific set of advice. He said, what you personally like to do, make it a hobby. What the world likes to do, make it your business. And one of the things that we realized the fact that everybody either drinks coffee or knows somebody who does drink coffee. So one of the things we did is we launched an online gourmet coffee business. And the reason why we did it online was just because nowadays we capitalize on industries such as the home-based business, the internet, and we use that as an opportunity to reach out or extend our reach to a lot wider group of audience. Because as you can see nowadays, Starbucks literally is almost everywhere. The farther you get from one, the closer you get to another one. But every Starbucks company, or if you were to start up a Starbucks franchise, that would cost you a good amount of money. Not only just for the overhead, not only just for the employees, but the product and everything else that it takes to run the business. Here, we just took the concept of a franchise and we made it online. It's more sort of like an online franchise, similar to Amazon. As if when you purchase something from Amazon, you're not necessarily purchasing from Amazon itself, but you're purchasing from a third-party affiliate. And what we decided to do is we decided to just launch websites instead of your typical brick and mortar businesses, and that way it's a lot more accessible to a wider group of people. Does that kind of make sense to you guys?
Yeah, absolutely, Argel.
Yes, sir. And that's pretty much how we ran our coffee business. And honestly, we're really me and a group of guys out there. I just kind of want to highlight them if that's okay with you guys. A couple people.
Please.
What's up? Oh yeah. For sure. A couple people I've been working with. People since day one. People like Mr. David Mock, Isaac Tafau Owens, Marco Leano, Tanner Petrie, Angel Alonso. A lot of these people have been with me since the start and since day one. I just really wanted to highlight them. We wouldn't really be where we are today if it wasn't for our past and current mentorship. Some of the people that we've been mentored by in the past are Jed Buenaluz, Alistair Kaluza, Chris Bogna, Edwin Asenis, LJ Bogna. All these people really, if it wasn't for them, I think a lot of us wouldn't really be in the world of entrepreneurship that we are in today. Grateful now to be working with incredible mentors. We are actually being mentored by a multi-millionaire. His name is David Imanichie. We actually have the privilege, since we're doing pretty well in this in the San Diego market over here. He's actually going to be flying out from Houston, Texas, to San Diego, California, May 19th, just to help us build our business. Tickets are exclusive. They're not really open to the general public, but he is hosting a session. So if there's anyone that is even a hint bit interested in entrepreneurship but doesn't really know where to get started, either that, or if you're already a full-fledged entrepreneur and you just want to make a second stream of income, or if you want to make an additional stream of income, I honestly think meeting a gentleman like Mr. David Imanichie would be a blessing, just because and really you just get to associate around someone of such a high caliber. I think it's a honor and privilege. Yes, he's flying in May 19th, so that's going to be happening shortly. If there's anyone that really, I just want to say this right now, if there's anyone really that's either really loves coffee, wants to know where to get some coffee, or are open to making some extra income at the same time, open to listening to some information, I highly recommend, if you're by a computer, if you have a pen and paper right now, there's a site that where you can apply, even if you're just a tad bit interested. It's called coffeeconnoisseurs.org. Again, coffee.org, spelled as is coffee, COFFEE, connoisseurs, CONNOISSEURS.org. And yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Wonderful, Argel. Thank you so much. Folks, for you guys just joining at the tail end of our show, we have entrepreneur and businessman Argel Algura. Hey, Argel, is last name Algura or Algura? I'm sorry, I didn't get the pronunciation verified.
It's Algura, sir. Algura. So full name, Argel Algura.
Argel Algura. Wonderful. With his online coffee company. And any promotion you want to do, by all means, we'd love to know the website name and anything that you have on social media. Now's your real chance to go back to our audience. You want to do any promotional marketing at all, Argel? Where can we find your product at?
You can find it at Argel Algura. So it's my first and last name, ARGELALGURA my organo ORGANO gold GOLD.com. Again, that's argelalgura.myorganogold.com. So if you guys wanted to really check it out, I'd encourage it. Check it out. Anything you like, I'd say first reach out, and then we might be able to show you how to get it for a discount. For those of you guys listening on the call right now today, if you guys are on the call right now today, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a special treat and a special promotion. If you guys are on the call, and just let me know if you guys were on the call today, and I'll go ahead and see if I can give you guys a promotional discount. And yeah, we'll go ahead and take it from there.
Wonderful, Argel. Look at you, huh? Look at you. Folks, that's all. That's pretty much all the time we're going to have today for Argel. Argel, on behalf of the Chelladurai Inc. show, myself, Jordan Phillip, we really appreciate your time. You have an amazing story. We absolutely wish you the best with your coffee company, in your professional life and your personal life. Wish you the very, very best. We should definitely hook up in the near future. I myself will go ahead and make your coffee company public on our Facebook page as well as our Instagram. Folks, find us on Chelladurai Inc. Facebook and Chelladurai Inc. Instagram. You guys already know the social media tags for that. Argel, anything else, just real quick before I let you go tonight?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, Aaron, I'm really grateful to be even speaking on this show today. I honestly, it really caught me off guard, but at the same time, I remember John Wooden saying, "You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take." So I'm like, hey, it's an opportunity for me to kind of share my passion, share what I love to do, and at the same time, your guys' show, I promote it to a whole bunch of other people. So there's a whole lot of people on the line listening today on your guys' show, which is a good thing. It's a win-win for the both of us, and I'm really happy for that. Honestly, where I am today, I want to say for a fact I couldn't have done it by myself. Really with the team and the group and my family that's really been there to support me from the beginning. And most importantly, I give all glory to God, just because that's really, if it wasn't for him, I really wouldn't know where I'm at today. So yeah, man, thanks again for having me on this show. I just want to say, when it comes to coffee, 3 things: it's easy, it's simple, it's coffee, and I'd highly encourage everyone right now today that's listening on this call right now to dream big, believe big, and achieve big, man. God bless.
Thank you so much, Argel. Folks, again, that's Argel Algura, the online coffee company. Check him out. Time now is 9:40. We have just a couple minutes to go, but I got to say, Jordan, that was an amazing entrepreneurial spotlight. Very fortunate that we have these gifted people and individuals that take their time out of their day to really come on our show to really broadcast everything that they're about. Because, you know, we're not some big name show by all means, and we've really, I mean, when we hear guests that are really appreciative of coming on, the appreciation, you know, to Argel tonight and to everybody else that's really come on, the appreciation is a two-way street. I mean, Jordan and I have been blown away the last 8 months since this show's commencement, and you know, like I said, it really goes without saying, but we are equal as grateful. Everybody, for the rest of the week, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Tomorrow is Friday. Have a wonderful, safe, and productive weekend. It is the weekend, but keep grinding. Keep grinding. I know, you know, Monday through Friday is grind time, but it's always grind time. It's always grind time. Jordan, I don't know if there's anything you want to say to the folks before we head out for tonight, because actually Jordan and I, along with Relative Reaction's CEO and producer Kenneth Pride, are going to do a little bit more work on the David Capo project. I know Jordan did touch on that briefly in the beginning of the show, but we have an expected date of July 16th. July 16th it is projected. Progressive Regression's had a projection date. Right around the same date last year. We were not successful in hitting that, but it did go by a few months, but it was for good reason, and we couldn't be happier with the last project. So, you know, it's interesting. I'll just leave with this, and I think I've said it before. We started this show initially, Jordan and I, the Chelladurai Inc show, about 8 months ago, and in order to really bring awareness to our music, which is our Chelladurai Inc record label and our brand. And it's crazy to me, and it's a real positive here, what I'm about to say. It's crazy how really our purpose of the show has really shifted. In all honesty, folks, the show has shifted in such a positive way. And, you know, we still like to endorse our music, but we're very much more of a business entrepreneurial side sector of the show. That's pretty much what we embody now. And I really couldn't be happier. We really honestly didn't see this kind of change happening. We were very much music oriented, and I just love, you know, the transition into kind of the business and getting these guests on and really pumping their brands and their, you know, business endeavors and their passions. Music is our passion, but business is a passion too. We kind of morph the two together, Jordan and I, both loves and interests that we do have, and that's really what encompasses the whole Chelladurai Inc movement altogether. But sorry I'm rambling, folks. You guys keep that head high, keep that middle finger higher, and we're going to see you folks next week, same time, same day. It'll be next Thursday at 9 p.m., and we wish you the best. You guys take care.